Oh boy, it looks like it's that time again.
You don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared?
As we're going to have to talk about Candace Owens, as the latest accusations that she's bringing forward are definitely raising some eyebrows, as there's a lot of crazy chatter online. I think there's more of a kind of human explanation. I know a lot of people are kind of bifurcated amongst hating Candace or loving Candace. There's the Candace investigation team and a lot of people that are diehard people who ride for Candace. But I think I want to take more of a nuanced approach. I want to lay out the straw man, the steel man arguments as she is, according to what a lot of people are accusing her, directly pinpointing Donald Trump. That's one of the accusations. Is that a fair accusation to make here with her latest live stream, where it looks like it was an impromptu one that was then deleted, as we have Laura Loomer that produced the video that's now going viral. Everyone's talking about it. We're going to play it. We're going to go over it. And we're going to lay out the argument that supports her argument and the argument that, of course, debunks and destroys her argument. As, of course, there's a lot of information swirling around. There's gag orders. There's a lot of people having particular opinions on this. There's also some very interesting comments about potentially AI demon robots like Elon Musk, Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, saying that she doesn't know if they would even bleed. Okay. Interesting comments, interesting conversation. If you appreciate these type of conversations, subscribe. Click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you give us here on this independent media organization. Now, the International Business Times is reporting today that Donald Trump, accused of taking out Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens' wild theory ignites viral firestorm. Yeah, everyone's talking about this. I woke up and it's like, oh, Candace. I love her. I hate her. Hey, ah. Like, okay, we're going to talk about this story once again, as of course this clip has now surfaced. And there's a lot of things to take away from here. Automatically, the first thing I said is, where's the full clip? All right? Because, I'm so sick of, things being taken out of context. I want to understand the full argument. I want to understand the full context. I want to understand if there was, some kind of sarcasm done beforehand that's not understood here. But I can't find the clip. I went to Candace's YouTube channel. I went to her Instagram. I went to her Twitter. I'm like, where's the video of her reporting? I was like, is this guy here responsible for it? No, he just put his tag over her video. It looks like originally, I think it was Nathan Livingstone and Laura Loomer that provided the video. I want to see the full video, not to excuse any of the stuff, but just to understand it a little bit further, as she came out and is now directly accusing this government, which a lot of people are saying Donald Trump, of taking out Charlie Kirk, where she says, quote, they definitely took his life. Here's the full clip in context.
Just really needed to just take a breather and really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know.
No. The first context already. I needed to take a breather. Okay, clearly, there's been a lot of pushback. There's been a lot of hate, a lot of accusations, a lot of it's a very intense story, especially since, of course, Candace had a relationship previously with Charlie Kirk. Now, some people who hate Candace are like, she didn't know him. Other people are saying, well, no, they actually, did a lot of things together, including even fly to Israel, and were doing a lot of tours and speaking things. And clearly, I would say this emotional aspect here is something to think about in hindsight, which we're going to be talking about later on in this particular video, which I just wanted to make a mental note of.
We just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It is
truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways we have ever seen. Now, again, Candace also released a very interesting statement a couple of days ago, kind of insinuating that the people closest to Charlie betrayed him. She says, yes, Charlie was betrayed by everyone, which created another firestorm because you're kind of alluding. I mean, everyone. And again, I'm just not a big fan. And as soon as this came out, I was like, listen, if you're going to make accusations, do it with facts, do it with evidence, and stop talking in generalizations. And I think that is the more proper kind of approach to take here personally. But obviously, I think there's something else also going on here. But again, here's the clip.
It's made me lose faith in politics. It's made me fully lose faith in Trump.
Made me lose faith in politics, made me lose faith in Trump. That's big here, all right? Because that's where she's setting up the argument for.
And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics, and they just were like, nope.
So clearly highlighting how she doesn't like Trump, right? He gave so much of his life to Trump, to politics.
That is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing?
Now they killed them. It's a direct quote. They killed them. Now, Candace, who's they, is because that argument sparks a whole theory. They always they give them a holiday, and she talks about how they give them a street. And again, very serious allegation here that, again, has not been kind of brought up with kind of facts. It's conjecture, it's theoretical, and I think she deleted it because I don't think she's being careful here with her words. And the internet captured it, released it, and now everyone's talking about it. I'm going to play the full clip and then steelman and strawman her argument. Because, okay, let's theoretically play into the theory. Let's play into the theory, and let's try to understand it. Let's try to understand what is going on and why she's saying what she's saying. What's the best argument for it? And we'll get into that. Before we do, just wanted to remind you, we're not financed by any foreign country or lobby or special interest group. We're financed by you. We still do it the old-fashioned way, 20 cents a day, $8 a month means the world to us, and that's how you allow us to survive. You get access to a Telegram channel where I am in. We get to talk. I'm going to do a special live stream just for members. We got 3 master classes, 13 plus years of videos centered around helping you become the strongest, most amazing version of yourself. And there's a lot of really fun, cool stuff there that I cannot recommend enough for you guys to check out and participate in. But most importantly, if you have some money, if you're poor and broke, don't worry about it. A lot of people are not doing all right. But if you have some money to spare, we appreciate your support greatly. And we'd rather do this. People are like, oh, you're asking for help and donations. Oh, pathetic. And I'm like, yeah, you know what's really pathetic? You know what's really awful? It's people that are literally going and bowing down and working for foreign nations, corporations, and some of the worst, most unethical, immoral freaking lobbies in the world. Being like, gamble, kids. Yeah. Go drink some booze. And I'm like, no. And we had booze offers and gambling offers. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't want that negative juju associated with me. That, I would say, is low-level type of behavior. Yeah, I'll be like, hey, guys, please donate. You appreciate 20 years. Please donate. Yeah, you want to? Cool. You don't? Okay, fine. But that's how independent media is financed, right? That's the truth. So vote with your dollars, and we greatly appreciate and are very humbled through all of your very generous support throughout the many years. That wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for generous people and awesome, incredible people. This is why I always say I love you guys. Literally being like, here's 20 cents a day. Whatever. Doesn't matter now with hyperinflation. It's like, hey, here's a buck. All right? It means a lot. And I can't thank you guys enough. And listen, I prefer it this way. I'll be honest. I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. Now, let's play the full clip here of Candace steelman, strawman her argument after this, and then talk about the kind of reaction, because there's a big visceral reaction from all of this.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, They definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you. They're like Holiday in a boulevard. And it's never on a nice side of town either. Like Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not gonna be a nice side of town. Anyways, I will be back on the 27th, you guys. Thank you guys for all the support throughout these couple of weeks, these last really kind of 6 weeks since Charlie died. And we will see you guys then.
So it looks like she's going to be back Monday. Now, she's not creating content like she usually does. Looks like that was the end of her content. And listen, she's of course referring to MLK Boulevard. They killed him. Very generalized type of loose language with a lot of assertions that personally I'm not the biggest fan of. As Laura Loomer came out and says, Candace Owens is now implying that President Trump murdered Charlie Kirk. Absolutely unhinged. Now, she didn't say Trump. She insinuated the government. She also believes that there's like a deep state as well. So did she say Trump did it? Well, no. But people are doing that because they're just looking at every other way to attack her. She also thinks the government is hijacked by a particular foreign lobby. That foreign lobby is the lobby that she believes controls a lot of American politics. Ian Carroll responded by saying she's implying that the government was involved, not that Trump personally did it. And you care nothing for the truth. Your only goal here is to try to take down Candace. Good luck with that. And again, some of the things Ian is saying recently, I also kind of disagree with. He's kind of pointing at TPUSA being personally responsible and involved here. And I'm like, I don't think that's the case here at all, as the kind of faith and future of the TPUSA is now in question. And they just got rid of their, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. So there's a lot of kind of implications here. And there are now kind of multiple instances where there was incorrect information. There was incorrect information about Utah Standard Time that wasn't the best, right? There's also a lot of things that were gotten wrong with the term of the use of vehicle. There was other stuff that was discussed very loosely and theoretically that, again, I'm not the biggest fan of, as there has been a lot of criticism, a lot of skepticism. But let's draw these arguments out here, as even Judith Broadwick is saying, what happened to Candace Owens? As people are saying, she's claiming Trump did it. Again, Hotep Jesus says, nothing happened to Candace. You simply no longer agree with her. So now her tactics are more apparent. You overlooked the red flags when she was on your side, but many of us, quote, warned you. Jamie Mitchell says, Candace Owens is a litmus test. If you are someone who still watches her unironically and believes the things she says, you're too far gone and have lost any ounce of respect and credibility you once had here. Now, she also made some interesting comments about AI,
Leading people into AI.
droids, demonic type of creatures, which I thought were very interesting. I might have to do a separate video on that. Top Lobster responded, what's incorrect here? As people are saying, this is an unhinged rant. It definitely does seem like this was not a kind of curated type of careful conversation. It looks like this was kind of an impromptu conversation on Candace's part. That was definitely probably, listen, if you hate her, you're going to say she's just doing this for clicks and attention and she's becoming more wild and crazier. If you really like her, you're going to, of course, try to excuse some of this behavior, and you're going to say, well, maybe she's, emotional. Maybe she's not doing too well. Oh, and there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to be like, okay, yeah, maybe the government did do it. Maybe Trump did do it. And there's people that do believe that. Now, some people are using that as a way to obfuscate from the left, but I think that's a mute argument, since the left overwhelmingly is still celebrating and cheering in the death of Charlie Kirk, right? That kind of argument is mute, for my own personal opinion. Steel madness. And I'm not saying I agree with this. We'll straw man it. We'll steel man it, straw man it. Steel man. Let's just hypothetically say the government did take out Charlie. Why would they do that? This is the argument that they would be making, saying Charlie was against the war in Iran. He was pushing back and trying to get full disclosures on Epstein. He was pushing back against one of the biggest, strongest lobbyists and no longer playing nice with them, and then entertaining voices against them. And when they tried to stop him from doing that, he did it even more. He became politically inconvenient for that lobby, the government, especially with all the things that they needed to get done in a way that didn't represent their campaign promises. And that's why, therefore, boom, we got to take him out. Now, again, Candace needs to be more clear. What do you mean by they? Do you mean intel agencies? Do you mean deep state? Do you mean shadow government? Do you mean this government? I think the distinction matters since, of course, this is the kind of ideological type of understanding that she has, right? That's the straw man argument. The government just had to take him out because he was going to expose it all, become too inconvenient for us, and not play ball with us, right? That's the steel man alleged theory that is hypothetical. Now, if we're going to straw man this, being like, that's ridiculous and crazy. And there's no absolute proof or evidence of that at all. Now, there's some weird kind of circumstantial stuff. Yeah, sure. And I've been saying that FBI should release the full videotape, full clip of him on the roof. They should release more of the text message exchange. They should, but we're not going to get into that because a lot of the stuff is gagged. A lot of the stuff is being prevented from being shared or even talked about with the lawyers and everyone involved here. This is not even a straw man. This is just kind of like approaching that argument with logic, being like, Trump would have taken out, or the government would have taken out their number one rallier, campaigner, and mobilizer of young people. The man who was de-radicalizing people. The man who was coming out there and saying, hey, starvation? What's starvation in Gaza? That's the guy that they would take out, who was playing ball with them, who was nice with them, who helped them win this election. And now that organization, that future, the youth and the kind of insurgents and this type of propellant that he had is gone. Now, again, the conspiracy theorists are going to argue, well, no, they needed this event in order to galvanize the general public for them. They needed political leverage and capital. I was even having talks with one prominent influencer. I'll keep him anonymous. But we were talking about, listen, if this government wants power, they'll just false flag more attacks on the right, and they'll be able to do whatever they want. Similar to like the Reichstag fire. That's what the conspiracy minds are thinking. Do I see Trump doing that when so much of his internal information is being leaked? Do I see Trump kind of carrying out a lot of that? It's too risky. Now, the deep state is another question, right? But again, we're all in this kind of theoretical guessing, playing around here. Do I think Candace is kind of correct here with her assertions? Personally, I'll be honest, no. I need facts, I need proof, I need evidence. Is there room to ask questions and say, hey, let's be a little bit more transparent and accountable and release more information and get rid of a lot of these theories? Yes. Yes, I agree. Yes, absolutely, 110%. I think there's a reason this clip is deleted, and I think we need more of a clarification or an explanation from Candace about what was going on, what she was thinking, and I hope we have that conversation that hopefully could be a frank one. There's a lot of disingenuous players that either want to promote her or to destroy her. I'm saying let's entertain all arguments and conversations, sure, in a logical, non-emotional type of way, and let's actually present the evidence. Let's actually have some proof. And then actually, when we have evidence and proof, we can come to some kind of logical conclusions. But if you don't have an evidence and proof, the accusations that you're just doing stuff for clicks and attention is going to be what's going to be happening here, right? And again, not a personal fan favorite of it, but I think we should strive to do everything in our power to have as honest of a conversation as we can here. Now, I'm going to do a separate video about Palantir, the surveillance state, AI, and demons. And I'll talk about this other clip here. Again, it looks like it was definitely more of a emotional type of broadcast that was then deleted. Let's get clarification. Let's lay out our arguments. Let's get some clarification, then let's speak concisely. That's what I think needs to happen. If you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. I know there's a lot of different kind of like nuanced other things that we could kind of get into. I'm already like wiggling around, trying to be like, all right, let's entertain this side. Let's entertain this side. Here's what I actually think about it. If you thought I did an okay job at that, subscribe, click the notification button. Thank you so much for signing up and supporting independent media on lookunfiltered.com. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys doing that. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/WeAreChange.